Okay, yesterday we talked about systems of equations, and we realized that a system is two or more lines, a solution is an answer, and that represents where two lines intersect. So a solution to a system is always where two lines intersect. Now, you were given lines where y was always by itself. Sometimes y is not always by itself. So you don't want to graph them. If they don't have perfect y-intercepts or intersect at a perfect point, you want to use a different strategy to solve this system. Again, system means where two lines intersect. So we use what's called substitution. Substitution is just like how it sounds. If I get a substitute, somebody comes into my class, I leave. You're plugging in a different teacher in here, and I am leaving. So substitution means you plug in a variable into the opposite equation. So it means you know who the substitute's going to be or what it is, and then you plug it in the other equation. Okay, here's a system, y equals 3x minus 12, and y equals negative 2x plus 3. You could technically graph this, however, you got this y-intercept of negative 12, which not many graphs give you that, so you wouldn't. What substitution says, it says y is this, as well as y equaling this. So you could substitute one y for the other, meaning since this is y, I could plug all of that in where that y is, and then leave that y alone. That's what we're doing today. We're finding which variable is by itself. We're going to put parentheses. We're going to find where it is in the other equation and bring it down. And our algebra skills need to be on top. Okay, so first parentheses around what's alone. That's the first thing you're going to do. Underline plug, that's all you really need to know for step 2. So parentheses, plug. Plug means substitute. Like this is like my personal substitute. This would be like, hey, I'm y. Hey, I'm getting a substitute. It's going to be Albertson. Then that means Albertson comes down instead of me that day. Okay, that's what that means there. Then we'll solve, and then plug back in is what we'll do. You need to see this being handled. Okay? Get ready for algebra. This is going to be fun. So, here's the variable. Y is 3x minus 12. I'm putting parentheses. Y is all of that. Okay? That's my substitute. I found it. Now, do you see where the other y is? Are you looking at the other y? Look at it. Okay, watch what I'm doing. This goes to that other y. Now, that y disappears. This is the substitute. So I go 3x minus 12 equals negative 2x plus 3. Whew. That's a big concept. That's where most kids struggle. Our algebra skills typically do well. Most kids struggle. How do I substitute? Okay, now I'm going to solve. I'm going to move my 2x over. X plus 2 of them is 5x. And this is just normal solving. Now I'm going to plus 12. Okay. And then x is 3. Now remember, all that work and we're only halfway done. A system of equations, whoops, I should put that on the other spot. A system of equations is a point that two lines intersect. So I say that this line is going to intersect at 3. Oh man, now I have to find my y. Here's how you find your y. Plug back in where we put the parentheses. So this, watch where it's going to go. Do you see our parentheses way on top? Uh-oh. That goes there. So now my y equals 3 times 3 minus 12. Nine minus 12. Negative 3. So these two lines intersect at the point 3, negative 3. Love it. But let me try to simplify this. Let me try to think, okay, how can I quickly know what the heck I'm supposed to do without reading all these words I put in? So what I could do, first thing you need to figure out who's your substitute. Like when I'm about to leave my class, I need to know who is my substitute. So the first thing you put parentheses around who's your substitute. Second thing you do, you put it into the second equation or the other equation. So plug in. It's good and easy. Plug in. So parentheses and then plug it in. Then we solved. And then we went back to parentheses. But we did, that's really what we did this whole time. I put parentheses, step 1, step 2, I plugged in that step 2. Step 3 is all the blue, I solved. Step 4 was this arrow where I went back. All right, let's try another one today. We're going to take it nice and easy. Okay, why did I put so many words? Maybe you want the easy strategy, or maybe you like the words. Everybody's different. First parentheses, then we plug in, then we solve, then we go back to parentheses. Okay. Oh, darn it. Oh, go to the next page. I didn't mean that. Oh, now I gotta rewrite all this. This is the same one we just did. Yeah. Okay, let me group this, copy it, paste it. Oh, love this one with the butterfly. That's probably why I put the butterfly, because I like this one. Good. Good. Okay. So go to the butterfly one. What? Oh, really? Well, finish yours up then quick. X plus y equals 32. So make sure you write equals 32. I don't know why it's so, that's weird. Okay, you got it? First, I put parentheses around. I put parentheses around the letter that's by itself. Is X by itself here? No. The only one that's by itself is Y. So that's the one that's substituting. So first, parentheses. Second. Okay, where's my other Y on that other equation? Look at it. Do you see it? Put an arrow to it. So this is going right there. Y is going to the Y, except I have a substitute. That's step 2. That's the, well, now step 2 is plug in. X plus 3x equals negative 32. Do you see where I got x plus 3x from? Step 3 is solve. negative 32. X is negative 8. Okay, that's my solving. So remember, a system is a point. So this says that it intersects when X is negative 8. Now I gotta find my Y. So I go back to the parentheses. So this goes back to the parentheses. Y equals 3 times negative 8. So another one where it would be very hard to graph that. You wouldn't be able to find this point of intersection. There's no way you'd be able to get down to a negative 24. Okay, I think I said that's all I wanted to do, but I might have lied to you. Okay, so let's solve this system of equations. Systems, a point of intersection. Solution. So I have to find what is the X and what is the Y where these two lines intersect. Which letter is by itself? X is alone. Does everyone see? X is not alone, Y is not alone. I can't put parentheses. Do you see how X is all by itself? That's where you put parentheses. You put parentheses whichever letter is by itself. Do you see the other X on top? Do you see the other X? Yes. This goes there. That's the substitute. Now I rewrite. See, I already have my parentheses. I know I'm going to distribute. So this just goes right where the X is. It's going to be 2 parentheses, negative 3y plus 11 minus y equals 1. Distribute. Negative 6y plus 22, take y away, equals 1. Uh-oh. Don't forget this is plus a negative. So negative 6 plus a negative 1, negative 7. Please now I'm going to make sure your homework has no fractions today. So if you get a fraction, you solved wrong. So be careful. Minus 22. Divide. Oh man. Halfway done. That's fun. Halfway done because I need to find my X. I got my Y. How do I find my X? According to step 4, where I go back to the parentheses. So this goes back to that top parentheses. It's the Y. So this is going right there. X equals negative 3 times 3 plus 11. 2. So these two lines intersect at the point 2, 3, which would be easy to graph. However, how many of you would be able to graph those lines given to you like that? Not many. You'd have to do a lot of getting Y alone stuff, and it would mess a lot of people up. That's why we do this algebra.